Welcome back for another mini message today out of Genesis chapter 17. Look with me at verses 17 and 18. It says, Then Abraham bowed down to the ground, but he laughed to himself in disbelief. How could I become a father at the age of 100? And how can Sarah have a baby when she is 90 years old? So Abraham said to God, May Ishmael live under your special blessing. Okay. When you go back to the previous couple of verses, you find very clearly Sarah will have a child. When God changed her name, God made this clear. So Abraham bows down before God, prostrate on the ground. It's a great stance to be before the Lord, right? On our knees before Him. But the problem comes in is that Abraham laughed to himself in disbelief. Look, Abraham had a lot of faith, okay? He got up and left Ur. He's been living in tents. He believed that God would give his descendants this land. He follows this. This is the one that he struggles with. I think he struggles with the most is the birth of Isaac, the child of promise. See, here he's laughing in disbelief. How can Sarah have a child when she's 90? How can I have a child when I'm 100? Right? I don't see a lot of folks walking around, planning to start their family at 100 and at 90 years old. That would be an odd place to be in our world around us. That's something else. You better I want to be able to hire a nanny. Somebody got to change them diapers. I'm not changing diapers at 100 years old. But here is Abraham in the middle of this, struggling with his faith, his belief. His faith got wobbly here. Okay, his faith had some weak knees. You ever get those weak knees? When I was a kid, I liked to go to Six Flags. And I've always had motion sickness, but I would torture myself and ride the roller coasters, right? And I would be sick. And I would get off the roller coaster. I used to ride one called the Mind Bender. I'd get off the Mind Bender after doing loops and flips and corkscrews and all these things. And my legs would be kind of shaky and wobbly as I had sometimes to sit down and take a break afterwards. That's kind of how Abraham's faith was at this moment. It was shaky. He struggled with this part. He laughed in disbelief. And then he says out loud to God, okay, this is Christ still here with him. Chapter 17 is just flowing, okay, it's flowing through. It's one conversation. And he says, May Ishmael live under your special blessing. So he was trying to go back to this idea of, well, how can man accomplish this? Look, guys, man can't accomplish anything apart from God. Not in His grand plan. God's guidance is on all of us. God's blessing, God's purposes. I don't care if you know Him, if you don't know Him. God's guidance in this world is still affecting your life. He is God. He is on the throne if you believe it or not. It doesn't matter. God's sovereignty and God's place is not affected by our belief or our disbelief. And Abraham was struggling with this. You're going to struggle with this too at moments. You're going to have a hard time in some moments with faith and trusting. Go back to this passage. Look at even Father Abraham struggled. But even when Abraham struggled, it didn't mean God was struggling. Have a blessed day. We'll see you again.